thank you all for joining. Really happy to see that you are all joining, and I'm happy to give you a demo of a brief overview of the Safeture platform and the app. Let me turn off my camera and start sharing my screen. So here is the Safeture platform. What you can see here to your left-hand side is the Safeture web portal. From an administrator's perspective, whether it is a security manager, travel manager that you might have internally, or it could be outsourced to a different assistance provider, such as medical or security assistance provider. We have many different kinds of partners within the assistance providing, whether it is medical or security. And they are also integrated into the system, in case you do not already work with one. To our right, we have the Safeture mobile application. And this is what a high mobility person would probably use. So a frequent traveler that needs contextual information at all times based on where they are and wherever they really are around the world when they are out traveling with the business. So to start off, I would like to focus a little bit on the dashboard here that we see on the web portal. It gives you a very quick overview of everything that has happened within your organization. And also what is happening right now. We can quite quickly see that one of our employees here has initiated an emergency through their application. We can also see that the Safeture analyst team have picked up events around the world and published alerts that are affecting our organization's facilities and all these employees that are connected to the facilities. So this could really be, like Adam explained, stores, offices, warehouses, production facilities, any kind of static location to which you would like to connect your employees. Further down below, we see travelers in risk zones, which really can be seen as employees in risk zones. This could be employees that are currently in a high risk region, a region assessed by our analyst and generally considered high risk. But it could also be employees that have a position near a high risk incident that has happened anywhere around the world. So what happens is that when our analysts pick up an event through our AI, they assess the event that I have picked up, and then they decide to publish an alert into the system. The alert has a certain radius, and any facility within that radius will automatically be considered as affected. Notifications will go out to stakeholders, assistance providers, etc. But through the mobile application that we see here on the right-hand side, I'm providing my position back into the platform. I'm doing that approximately every 40 minutes. And by doing it, I receive contextual information, like you can see here under latest alerts. And that is based on where I am currently, what my interests are, and where I am traveling. We will have a little bit deeper look into the travel booking features and the travel module. But I would actually like to move over to the security overview within the platform. Here you get a quick overview of all of your employees and facilities spread around the world. You quickly see where they are, and you can work with different map overlays, such as a risk level map or COVID-19 map, to get a more dynamic picture of your exposure towards risk. Going back to the default map, you can, of course, also plot the incidents. By plotting the incidents, you get a quite good picture of how location, given the employees and the facilities, how location interacts with the information that is published through the Safeture analysts. You can, of course, at any time communicate. We all know that it is very important to be able to communicate in a timely and efficient manner when something happens. You can simply do that by clicking on any of these clusters of employees. The list is directly pre-populated with everyone that is within the area, and you can then click message to go to our chat functionality. And the same actually goes from the dashboard. Like you see here, we have many different message buttons that the system already has pre-populated with facilities or employees that are affected by incidents that have been published. So when something happens, you are notified and the system is done, ready to be used, and you're one click away from reaching out to all of your employees in need. Moving over to our facilities module within the platform, like mentioned, our facilities module allows you to add your static locations, your points of interest into the platform. Whether it is an office, warehouse, or an offshore facility that you have an interest in, you can add that here and be notified if something happens near that facility. But it doesn't stop there, because you can also connect all of those employees that might not be traveling and thereby not needing the app. You can connect them to a facility to keep them informed of everything happening near their work location. And if something happens, like you see the red ones here, you can simply click on a facility, and once again, you are one click away from starting a chat with all of the employees. Moving over to our risk intelligence, which is accessible both through the web portal, but also from within the Safeture app, as you can see. Here you can find information on more than 200 countries and regions around the world. You can simply pick a country of interest, read up more about general overview of that country. You can then also go to the alerts tab to see all of the latest alerts that have been published for this particular region or country. You can read more in-depth safety assessments, where you might be, for instance, specifically interested in infrastructure for that country. Then you can read up about that as well. We also have travel-related information, cultural-related information. Maybe it is the first time that you're traveling to this country, and then it might be good to read up more about information sources, how you should dress in the country, if there might actually be specific things you should be aware about if you're a female traveler. And then we also have some cultural do's and don'ts that quickly gives you an understanding of what you should be aware about when going to this region. We also have a medical section. There might, of course, be specific health concerns to the country or region that you should be aware about before going there. And from within the app, we can even connect the database to the app to certain databases of providers. This could be anything from hotels to hospitals, to pharmacies, embassies, consulates, any kind of database with specific points of interest that you want to add to your platform and application. We can do that. Often this is used by our customers together with their insurance company or with their medical or security provider to give all of the employees a quick access to points of interest that they might actually need when they are out traveling. Within the app, you also have access to local news. And this is, again, a way for you to prepare before going on a trip so that you can read up more about the specific local news that are happening in the region that you're traveling to. I would also like to mention that all of this information is fully customizable by you as a customer to us, but also by, for instance, your assistance provider. And this is really so that you can provide your detailed knowledge or your assistance provider's detailed knowledge to all of your employees. What this means is that you might, for instance, be traveling very often to a certain country and have specific contact persons there. Then you can add all of that information here so that your employees always have access to it when they are out and about. I would like to mention our medical database as well, also accessible from within the app and from within the web portal. It contains information on a number of conditions and diseases and also medications. But I would like to show you that you might have traveled to a certain country where you do not speak the language. Say that you would find yourself in need of insulin. Then you can find and read up more about insulin, of course. But you can also go to the local pharmacy, scroll down in your app, and see different brand names of insulin that you can show to the pharmacy to help you out to get the right medications on your trip. Moving over to our travel booking module, This is one of our major modules. And to explain how it works is really that we can, like Adam said, connect the Safeture platform to your travel management company. We can do this in many different ways, and we have integrations in place with the major systems out there in the world and also the major travel management companies. So what happens from an administrative perspective when you connect it with your travel data is that you can be specifically notified of certain high-risk travel bookings that are taking place in your organization. Then you can make sure that specific security procedures are followed and really to prepare the employee before the trip. From the traveler's perspective, like I mentioned before, you receive notifications for your destination before you're going on the trip. But also, when you're about to go on the trip, you will receive information such as gate changes, updates to the flight times, if there are any delays, for instance. All of that you will get as notifications through the Safeture app. I would now like to shortly mention a little bit about privacy before I hand over the word to Jens and after this demo. But if we have a look at privacy from within the app, you can limit your positions in different ways. So you can totally switch off the services of the app. You can switch off your exact location. But how do we then balance this with security? Well, if we move over to the assistance page of the app, you see that you have a number of different options here. First of all, you of course have the access to local emergency numbers. Those are automatically updated based on your position. But you also have access to a button, a number to your unique assistance provider. When you press that button, you initiate an emergency, like seen here on the web portal's dashboard. Notifications can automatically go out to stakeholders via email and SMS, but also to your assistance provider. And this then overrides your privacy settings so that you can get the right help at the right time. I would also like to show you a little bit more about communication. So regardless of whether someone has initiated an emergency, or if it's a facility that is near an incident, or you have travelers in risk zones, you're always one click away from communicating with all of those employees. Going over to the messaging module, you can quickly see here that you can add certain app users, such as Adam here. You can add certain groups or teams, such as our crisis management team. You can add certain facilities, such as the Safeture headquarters, or you can add contacts, people that are neither connected to a facility nor have an app. What this really allows you to do is that you can also use this platform from a mass communication perspective. Depending on what content you want to provide to your employees, you can send it out via email and SMS. You have then different options for if you want to send it to everyone within a facility or just to management. And you can also work with different templates. So let me use this OK template that I've created in advance. When I click Start Chat, the message goes out to all of these people and entities that I've added here. They can then start replying back, and you can keep that communication with your employees to make sure that they are okay. So that wraps up this demo, and thank you very much for listening to it.
Safeture, the world's leading employee safety platform.